Hello, BookTube. It didn't feel right to let a bleak and barren Sunday go by without doing a book tag, and I actually have one in mind that I at first thought was a rather clumsy and transparent trap to get me hashtagged again. It's the Male BookTuber Tag. And it turns out it's not. It's just a legitimate thing. It was created by Jayesh Chaya, and I saw it on the Bald Bookies channel. I don't know if he technically tagged me or not, but I considered myself tagged. And it's all about men on BookTube. And the first question is, do you think there's a lack of male booktubers? And if so, why? And the question is, actually, why is there a lack of male booktubers? Because the first half is a fact. And I know that we're in the 21st century in which saying that facts are wrong is totally okay. It's totally fashionable, totally acceptable to do that now. It's totally acceptable now to see a 747 land at Logan Airport, turn to the person next to you and say, that plane isn't here. And that's okay. The first part of the question, obviously, is a direct to the second part, because there is a drastic imbalance of men and women on BookTube. The huge majority of people on BookTube are women. As to the why, I watched a whole bunch of examples of this tag. Fascinating stuff. A lot of male booktubers that did this tag came to the conclusion that the imbalance is because boys are discouraged from reading when they're younger. The implication being that by the time they get into their teens and early 20s, when most people are on or considering making a BookTube channel, they don't read. They're not readers. I find that fascinating. I don't know if it's completely true, and I especially don't know if it's the reason for the lack of male booktubers. I think even a reader among, teenage, early 20 men might look at BookTube as it has been in the last 6 or 7 years and say, well, even though I love to read, this clearly isn't for me. I'm reading hard science fiction. I'm reading tons and tons of backlist. But what do I see when I look at BookTube? It's not that I see mostly women. It's that I see mostly people manically enthusing about books written for children. And, so I've encountered this thing, this big community, but it doesn't look like it's for me. That could easily be. It could be thematic rather than gender, the reason that or social, the reason that we're not seeing as many, I haven't seen as many male booktubers. I think that will change. This phenomenon of BookTube 2.0, I think will fix that and bring bookworms of all types out of the woodwork. That at least would be my hope. Question number 2 is, would you like to see more male booktubers, and why? Yes, I would. I believe that that BookTube is critically lacking in the demographic of 18 to 19-year-old topless weightlifters. And I think we need to make up that lack right away. But seriously, in answer to the question, would I like to see more male booktubers? Well, if they're good, I wouldn't like to see them because they're male. I would like to see them. I would like to see more booktubers just in general. In fact, I would like to see more booktubers just in general, of all across the spectrum. I would like, as I've said on this channel a few times, I would like BookTube to be a completely accurate representation of the mind-boggling variety of readers that actually exist in the world. Whereas if you look now among male booktubers, there are quite a few, but for instance, we don't have in that category we have some novelists, but we don't have a professional book reviewer other than me. We don't have an academic, even one that I know of. If you know somebody, feel free to tell me. There are all sorts of demographics that we lack, all sorts of male readers that I know are out there because I've met them, who either don't know about BookTube or have taken a look at it and thought, it's not for me. So we need more booktubers, just in general. Question number 3 is, how do you think we as a community could attract more male booktubers. I don't think we do anything as a community, and of course my first reaction to this question was to angrily shout, well, you could start with not hashtagging them. But that's an isolated case. I don't think BookTube could do anything. BookTube doesn't do anything as a community. I wish it did. So there's no way to... The way to attract them, as a few people who've made this tag have pointed out, will be for them to encounter BookTube and see something closer to themselves than what they have in the past seen. Let's see here. Question number 4 is: do you think this wording is from the original tag? It's one of the places in the tag that verges very heavily into the territory of sheep dip, but I'll read it anyway. Do you think having more males on BookTube will enhance the BookTube experience? This is community board member language that verges on incomprehensible. I don't know what the BookTube experience is, and I don't know how you would enhance it, and I'm not sure we would want it to be enhanced. But having a greater variety of voices, as many people have pointed out in doing this tag, having a greater variety of voices will enhance BookTube. I don't know about the BookTube experience, but it will enhance BookTube, and I'm all for that, because I think this is a great place. Despite my own rocky beginning with it, I think it's a great place. I want it to be the visual, the personal, the immediate equivalent of the incredible variety of Goodreads. I look forward to the day when it is that, and I like that it inches closer to that all the time. And then question number 5 is: check the gender divide of your Google Analytics for your channel. And the unspoken actual question would be, and then tell us about it. I have no idea how to do that. I think on the original tag a method for how to do that was posted, and I'll have to go back and check and see. I might be willing to give it a try, but I don't need to check Google Analytics to know what the answer will be. I have far more women watching my channel than men, and even more than that. Even still, without checking analytics, I would be willing to guess that even among the women who watch my channel, I can identify that most of them are older than college age and have more education than is normal. It's just, what are the odds that so many women fitting that parameter could actively involve themselves in comments and reaching out to me and responding and all sorts of things like that, if they also didn't make up the majority of my viewers? I don't know. They'd have to be a pretty vocal minority if they were a minority. No, I think that that my channel is mostly watched by smart, formidable women. I wouldn't have it any other way. And then question number 6 is the last question, and it's a big one. It's name a few of your favorite male booktubers. And I to make sure that I was seeing the whole field, I actually looked at the list of my subscribers and realized that the small group of male booktubers that originally interested me in BookTube in the first place, Chris Rhodes, Jason Purcell, Lee Reader, Brock at Let's Read, Luke Lane Reads, the Galilean Library, Arthur at Chapter Select, the We Live for Books, which is Man and Woman, Max, Well Done Books. I realized when I was looking at that list that none of them make BookTube videos anymore, or don't appear to, and this is a bit distressing. I refuse to take responsibility for that. But then there are a whole bunch of others. I want to list a whole. But there's Conrad at 7 Days at Sea. There's Cameron at Book Movie Guys, another one of the original. In fact, he's in that original class of people that only he does still make videos. There's Ben at Bangity Bangs, who's been gone for a long time, but I think is making another video. He also is part of that original group. There's the Bald Book Geek himself. I saw this tag originally on his channel. There's Ben Sanders, of course. Let's see here. Caleb, Final Blow Joe, Indian Somniac, Ink and Paper, who's a new channel but fits right in. Jack the Bibliophile, who vanishes and then comes back, vanishes and then comes back. Hope he comes back. Let's see here. Jacob Tanner, with his inimitable enthusiasm. J.D. Archer, who's constantly giving us things to think about and talk about. Jer sings and reads, and Just One Reader, who will occasionally, both of them, break into song. How great is that? There's James Chatham and Johnny Keene. There's the guys at Literary Gladiators, and there's Adrian soldiering on alone now without Dalton at Strip Cover Lit. There's Adam at Memento Mori, giving a bit of class, bit of cool to our ragtag little group. There's a Mega Man Chief fan. There's Neil Griffiths, of course. There's Richard at Richard Reads. Let's see here. Who else have we got? There's Slice of Mike, who I've been watching for a long time. There's the Book Chemist. There's David the Poptimist, who just did a massive survey for BookTube with fascinating results. There's Alex at A View from the Bar, who's shifting his attentions to movies, but could easily still make another fantastic Stephen King video. There's Camel at What Camel Reads. There's Cam at Wolfshot Publishing, and some much newer channels that I've seen and really liked. Introspective Collective. I really hope he keeps making videos. There's Paperback Junkie, who I just found, who's fantastic. There's Steve Partridge, who did this tag, and I watched it and was amazed at how good it was. And I'm sure that I'm missing a lot of people too. That list is, I'm sure, partial. I will try to remember to link all of those people down below, even the ones who are temporarily in abeyance in case they come back. And that's it. That is the Male BookTuber tag. All that's left, I guess, is to tag people, and I tag all the people I just named. I love to hear other male booktubers talk about what it's like to be a male booktuber, because all the videos that I've seen on it have been really good. So that's it for now, and I'll be back with another video soon. Thank you, BookTube.